Are you stupid?
Half the room shouted at once. They realized it was serious.
Yeah, dumbass, you're strong, but it wears you out like a few seconds. You don't even heal fast. What the hell makes you think you can get away with that?
Milo yelled at me as he leaned across the table. At that point, everyone in the room was looking at me, waiting for my answer. Well, I guess I hadn't got that far, actually.
Oh, you hadn't got that far? Well, okay. Go ahead, and think it over for a second there, Xena.
Milo shouted again, now leaning so far over now that we were almost nose to nose.
Do it.
Milo does kinda have a point, Jasmine said from the other side of the kitchen table, but Milo's nose was still nearly pressed against mine. I didn't turn to look at her.
Yeah, Milo kinda has a point,
he said, still way too close. After a few hours, I was still wandering around Gay Jake's house, trying to think about how to pull off what I was planning to do. There's some kind of solution I'm missing here, I know it, I thought to myself. Tegan was sitting on the ottoman flipping through an old book. A really old book by the looks of it, which caught my attention. Hey Tegan, what's that? I asked, walking over to her. Oh, this is book my mother has given to me and Milo. She explained as she closed it up and held it up for me to see. I took the book and flipped through it for a second before I started to realize what it was. Tegan, is this a book about monsters? Yes, it belonged to my mother. Does it say anything about vampires? Yes, but nothing you have not been told already, I think. What about whatever the hell's wrong with me? No, that is what I actually was looking for, but I am afraid there is no...
Hey, does anyone see Joanna? I haven't seen her all day.
Milo hacked from across the room, spewing his drink everywhere. What the hell is wrong with you? I asked him as he coughed. What do you know?
Nothing,
he answered nervously, still choking a little. Bullshit, I can tell when you're lying. What the hell's been going on between you two? But he didn't answer. He just sat there looking nervous as me, Trey, and Tegan kept staring at him until he finally broke.
She wouldn't listen, okay?
He shouted suddenly.
She wouldn't listen to what?
Milo, what have you been hiding? I interrogated.
Oh fuck, here it goes. She asked me to turn her into a werewolf.
I could have heard a fly fart in that room for about 30 seconds after that. It was just a ringing silence as everyone in the room stood there, eyes wide, mouths open, trying to process what he just said. Then he finally continued.
When you and Tegan went to Alabama, she came to me and said she had something to ask me, but I had to promise not to tell anyone. So I did. But then she asked me to make her a werewolf. I didn't even ask why. She told me that she knew it had to be done. But I had to explain to her it's more complicated than that. And that even if I could, it'd be wrong. She wasn't happy about any of it. She got mad, she thought I was lying to her, and it just kinda escalated from there.
Once he was done, everyone slowly turned to look at Trey, nervously waiting for his reaction. I was half expecting him to call Milo a liar, but he didn't, surprisingly enough.
Okay, so why can't I find her right now? Honestly, I don't have a clue,
Milo answered, shrugging his shoulders at the question.
Oh great, we're about to fight a small army of vampires and now my sketchy girlfriend wants to go on sabbatical?
What the hell's going on in here?
Gay Jake yelled, coming to see what was going on.
Are y'all fighting shit?
He shouted, almost tripping over Hep's tripod as it scurried in front of him.
Are y'all fighting again?
He asked, scooting the thing out of his way with his foot before it scuttled off in the direction of the front door.
What's that little critter up to now?
You're not gonna believe this, but Joanna... I started to say, but I was cut off by the doorbell ringing. Who the fuck? We all stood in silence, trying to figure who it could be. Since everyone knew to go to the back door and knock, nobody ever rang the bell at Gay Jake's house. So I finally worked up my courage and eased my way over to the door. Please don't be Jehovah's Witnesses. Please don't be Jehovah's Witnesses. Oh, you've got to be shitting me, I whispered to myself once I opened the door. The last person on Earth I expected to see on the other side of the door was... fucking Morning Bitch. The goddamn vampire from Walmart.
Shit, what the hell?
I screamed, getting ready to dart back into the house and grab one of the weapons.
No, calm down. I come in peace.
What's going on?
There's a fucking vampire on the porch.
What? Bullshit! It's 2:30. There's sun all over the place out there.
Okay, well, I'm looking right at the goddamn thing.
I screamed, keeping my eyes on her the whole time.
How do you keep showing up in the middle of the day?
Sunblock, sweetie, lots of sunblock. Now can we talk? It's come to my attention by the way of a mutual acquaintance that not only have y'all acquired a collection of orichalcum weapons, but you have a couple of real-live werewolves on your side. Yeah? So why do you come here if you already knew that? I asked, suddenly realizing where Johanna had probably gone. Because I'm here to bury the hatchet to cut a deal. What? Why? This whole ordeal has become tedious, and chasing you kids around is hurting our revenue. You bunch have become taxing.
I mean, why should we? You killed Dex!
I screamed, getting ready to go for one of the weapons again, noticing the tripod thing had now positioned itself between the woman and everyone else. Correction, one of us killed him, and then you killed that guy, right? That's not the same thing. How do you figure? She asked, interrupting me. Well, just is, tried to respond. Well, here's the situation. You guys can go ahead with your little plan, but it might not have occurred to you. It's very likely that, at the very least, some more of you will die. We're just trying to make the path of least resistance here. We'll leave you alone. And in return, you drop this little scheme of y'all's and agree to never interfere with any vampire shit. That little friend of yours I had the tussle with in the van that day already caused our operation a whole heap of trouble. Had to move our lab all the way in the middle of nowhere because of her. But word is she ain't around right now. So you might want to take our offer to heart. I'll have to ask everyone else.
Hey, is that you, Margaret? Oh my god, if that's you, please help!
Mark's voice begged from the garage. I take it that's Mark I hear back there. It's going to be hard to explain that once everything is said and done if you don't take the deal, sweetheart. We can keep him quiet about this whole misunderstanding. But if you insist on keeping this hissy fit of yours going, well, think about it. I'm gonna go, hold a powwow and talk this over with everyone. I don't know. Wait here, I told her, closing the door behind me as I walked back inside. Okay, so here's the deal. I'm gonna take this mace and beat her to death with it, I told him, picking up the club and getting ready to march back outside. No. Half of them shouted, trying to grab a hold of me.
Holy hell, she's strong! Grab her legs before she does something stupid!
Gay Jake screamed, both arms wrapped around my neck, trying to drag me down. What the hell is going on down here? Jasmine and Leslie asked on their way down the stairs. So after a few seconds of summing up the situation for them, the group was now trying to hold me and Leslie down. And after a few minutes of that, everything calmed down and conversation ensued.
I really think you guys should consider it,
Milo finally said.
I know that wasn't the original plan, but she's right. We've already lost someone, and even with me and Tegan at full wolf, I'm starting to think we can't guarantee you'll all make it out in one piece. This might be the lesser of two evils.
By then it was me and Leslie on one side and everyone else on the other. It's safe to say it was because we've both been holding on to the idea of bashing in as many vampire heads as possible, and neither of us wanted to admit they were making a lot of sense at the time.
All I'm saying is that this seems like the best chance the rest of you guys coming out alive.
I hate to be a naggy Nancy, but y'all do know sunscreen doesn't last forever, the woman's voice called from behind the door. The offer leaves with me. God, I fucking hate her, I sighed to myself.
One goddamn second!
I screamed back at her before running my hands through my hair, trying to concentrate. fuck it, fine! I yelled, storming off towards the garage, causing Mike to squeal like a kindergartner as I slammed the door open. Ah, Christ! What the hell do you want now? Get up! I told him, snatching the bike lock off the post and yanking him off the ground by the back of his shirt. Move! Here, take him and fuck off! I said to the lady, shoving Mark out onto the porch. Good to hear that you've come to your senses, the lady said, wrapping her arm around Mark and leading the way. I didn't tell them a thing, I heard Mark say as he left. Bullshit, he told us everything we wanted to know, I shouted after him. I don't trust that bitch as far as I can throw her, I said to everyone as soon as the door closed behind me.
I get that it isn't sitting well, but it really is the best option right now,
Milo told me when he saw the pissy look on my face. So, if that's really it, what do we do now?
So guess I'm single now, right?
We all turned to look at Trey.
What? I'm just saying my girlfriend kinda sold us out, so I don't think it's gonna work out.
We all stood there in total silence for a while, trying to process this unexpected turn of events. Then Jasmine finally broke the quiet and she said, Is everything just supposed to go back to normal now? Or can it? I mean, I guess this is kinda normal for Milo and Tegan, but what about us? That's a good point. I mean, we still don't even know what kind of ghoul you are now, he said, gesturing my way. Hey, did you just call me a ghoul? He is right, though, Leslie interrupted. We do still need to figure out exactly what's wrong with you.
I might have an idea,
Milo said, taking out his phone and making a call. Who are you calling? Leslie asked.
Hello, Hep? Yeah, it's me again.
Spoke into the phone before setting it to speaker.
What y'all need now?
Yeah, hi, it's me, I said to the receiver.
Oh, hey! Had anyone yet, have you?
No, but actually I think we were wondering if you might be able to send us in the direction of someone who might be able to help figure this out.
Milo answered for me. There was a long silence on the other end, but then he finally spoke.
I'm probably gonna get my ass chewed out for telling y'all this, but I think I can help. There's a feller out in California that knows all about the sciencey stuff to do with the supernatural. I make some special tools and instruments for his research every now and then, so I'm gonna give you his address.
Wait, so you're gonna have to go all the way to California?
Oh, fine. God, y'all kids complain a lot. Call that number I gave y'all last time and tell them I told you to call again, and tell them I said to give you directions to the nearest entrance and passage.
So he gave us the place to go and we wrote it down. But then when it was time to make the next call, everyone got real quiet for some reason. What's wrong? I asked when I noticed. Okay, whatever, I said, dialing the number Milo gave me and setting it to speaker.
Worst hotel, what the hell do you want? Shit, it would be him again.
Milo mumbled to himself.
He's the guy that told us how to help you when you were all crazy and stuff. He's a dick. Hey, Leslie, it's us again. Shit,
we heard him say from the other end. Then we heard another voice in the distance.
Is that them? Give me that.
Hello? Sorry. Hello. I was hoping we'd hear from you guys again. See, Leslie here isn't exactly qualified to give advice on the subject you were asking about, and we're starting to think you might have got into a worse situation because of it. We wanted to call you back as soon as we found out, but the call log got deleted and we lost your number. We're really sorry. My name's Travis, by the way. How can I help? Wait, you sound familiar, I said suspiciously as I heard his voice. Wait, hold on. Hab's house, right? Yeah, that's it. I'm guessing you're the one with the problem, huh? Yeah, actually, Hab just told us to call for, directions and passage, whatever that means. For what exactly? He told us there's someone in California who can help us, I answered, which caused a long pause from Travis. Is it an LA address? Yeah, it is actually. Why? Oh boy, I'm
Just gonna let you figure it out for yourselves. You think Hep's a character? You just wait. He said with a chuckle before giving us the directions to the nearest entrance and hanging up. Once we got what we were after, we were back in the same state of figuring out what to do next. We were all pretty much aimlessly wandering around now that the Prime Directive had shifted so dramatically.
"Oh, there you are," Jasmine said when she found me sitting out near the place where they'd laid Dex's funeral. "What are you thinking about?" she asked, sitting down next to me. "This doesn't feel right. I don't like it. It feels worse than when we thought we were about to throw down with a mulch of butt-sucking consters. Are you okay? You're still fresh off your whole spell." "Yeah, I guess you're right. Main IG's nothing to feet." What are you saying? Are you saying you're hungry?" she asked, and I just nodded my head a few times instead of trying to talk. "Oh, okay, come on. Let's just get you some food, weirdo." "It just seems like it was all for nothing," I complained at the kitchen, pounding my head against the table. "I know, but it's probably better that way. It's not like we're actual monster hunters or something," Leslie admitted. "Maybe we should just be happy we can stop worrying about it. There are vampires out there, doping people and eating them. Does that not bother anyone else?" I growled, giving my head one last thump on the wooden table.
There really isn't much we can do if they're everywhere. It's not like we all have super strength or crazy ninja skills," Trey spoke up. "Actually, the more I think about it, the worse and worse our original idea sounds by comparison. Dex died, and more of us probably would have. What were I even thinking?"
I groaned before knocking my chair back and storming off.
You better be glad you didn't break nothing, missy, Jake yelled from behind me.
A few minutes later, Milo came up to my room where I had sequestered myself after stampeding out of the kitchen. He knocked on the door a few times before he cautiously opened it, and easing his way in, probably expected me to throw something at him.
"If it makes you feel any better, I'm not too thrilled about it either. But at least you might be able to figure out what happened to you when sorry."
He stopped himself when he saw me agitated, remembering it was half his fault I ended up like this. After thinking for a second, I just flopped back in bed and said, "I just want to sleep in my own room, my apartment, with my stuff, not have to worry about anything."
Holy shit! Jesus, what?
Milo cried out at my sudden outburst. "I just realized something. That vampire skank said something. That Lita was the reason they had to move their lab out into the woods, where we ran into those two guys and you had to save us." I explained as Leslie walked in.
"Hey, what's going on? That bitch Lita caused all this!"
I screamed into her face as I jumped off the bed, re-explaining my realization.
Well, wait, then wouldn't it also be that Hep guy's fault for making her all the weapons to do with?
She asked.
What? No.
Oh, right. We never actually told you that we ended up being somewhere else. The guy we were supposed to see was trying to leave when we got there, and I stopped as the memory of that man sent an icy chill down my spine. And he sent us up to Hep. But before we left, me and Tegan found something.
"Oh shit, we did find something!"
I said, running over to the bag I still hadn't got around to unpacking and rifling around for the flash drive.
"Look at this!"
I shouted, pushing Jerry's journal into Milo and Leslie's face.
"We never checked it out to see what was on it,"
I added, pulling out my laptop and opening the screen. Once it started up, I went to put the flash drive in, but as soon as I did, the goddamn battery died.
"Oh, Jasmine! Jasmine! What?"
She yelled back from downstairs.
"Where's my stupid laptop charger?" "Wherever you left it." "Ugh, you two, help me find the charger,"
I ordered Milo and Leslie. But after about 30 minutes of looking, we actually forgot why we were looking for it when Tegan and Gay Jake got into a drinking contest that resulted into a broken lamp and an impromptu striptease from Gay Jake. Yeah, none of us were very happy about it either. So, what are you two gonna do now? I asked Milo and Tegan in Gay Jake's driveway the next day.
Gay Jake said we can stay here for a few more days, if we want, before we have to head back home. He said he enjoys the company.
Oh, okay then. I'll kinda miss you guys, I guess, I said, giving him and Tegan hugs before getting in the car with Jasmine. Trey and Leslie had already left earlier that morning to their own homes, and I was anxious to get back to mine too. I'll see you around. Then Milo took out his phone, unlocked it, pointed at me, said,
No, Kay. You won't.
Then flashed the son of a bitch thing in my eyes. Was the Men in the Black reference really worth blinding me?
Totally.
I'll try and miss you, I told him, rubbing my eyes as we pulled out. Bye, Tegan, I shouted, leaning out the window. I'll definitely miss you most of all. I guess Steven's still at work, I said when we opened the door to my apartment and all the lights were off. It felt almost weird to be back there, especially with the place being so dark and quiet after everything we'd been through at Gay Jake's. You want me to stay for a while? Jasmine asked. Nah, it's okay. You'll probably have things you need to take care of back at your place, I told her, opening the bedroom door and tossing my bag inside. Then I looked around and realized that the last time I was here was the night Milo had randomly shown up out of nowhere. Tink, 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 tink. I ended up with custody of the tripod. Hey Jasmine, do me a favor, I said to her, looking down at the thing. I have a feeling. Take the little guy with you, at least just for tonight. It would make me feel better. Why? She asked, now looking down at it herself as it scuttled around the small bedroom. Because you don't have whatever I have, I told her, grabbing it mid-scuttle and handing it to her. You keep her safe, understand? I said to it. A few minutes later, Jasmine had left, and I was finally alone in the apartment. A couple of days later, as I laid in bed, gazing up at my ceiling, I had finally started to feel like things were actually settling down for real, when I heard the front door open as Steven walked in. Oh hey, you're finally back. Where were you? My words were cut short as a loud pop and sharp pain in my chest. Hey, what was... I tried to say as my vision faded. I woke up with a splitting headache and my hands bound behind my back. The next thing I noticed, I was sitting in a chair. Panicking, I looked over the apartment trying to figure out what was happening. Steven, what the actual fuck? I screamed. Jesus, I forgot how loud you are, he said, jamming a sock into my mouth mid-yell. I started to gag when I realized the crusty texture of what kind of sock it was, but I couldn't spit it out no matter how hard I tried. She should be here soon, so I guess I have time to fill you in on the blanks. Short answer, they made me a deal. I sell you out, they give me eternal youth and immortality, and I kinda hate you, so it wasn't a really hard decision. Oh, don't look at me like that. You can't think you aren't one of the most unbearable people on Earth, with your stupid movie references and your shitty thrift store clothes and your I was pimped out as a minor by my adult girlfriend sob story. Boo-hoo. Other people have problems too. You're loud and mean and selfish and you always get your way, and you wouldn't go out with... Just fuck you! He shouted in my face after stopping himself. It doesn't matter now anyway. Lady's gonna be here before long. She gave me this tranquilizer gun and a bunch of cuffs. She said just to make sure you're alive when she gets here. He explained as he tossed the gun on the couch. That's 4 sets of real cuffs, he said when he noticed me trying to break free. By then, he was standing between me and the window when it started to slide open and a figure crawled through. It sounds like she's here, Steven said with a crooked smirk. But it disappeared when he saw my look of terror switch to a muffled ear-to-ear smile. What the fuck are you so happy about? He tried to ask me as he turned to see a 7-foot-tall monster rise off the floor to tower over him, the Margaret lady's horrified head in its hand like a ghoulish basketball. Oh my god. Stephen wheezed as Milo loomed over his lanky, trembling frame, a vicious snarl running across his snout. Then suddenly Milo reached out and wrapped his other hand around Stephen's neck, before he even had time to scream, and began to squeeze until his body went limp. Once Stephen was out cold, Milo leaned down and used one of his claws to scratch the floorboards. I had a feeling, too. Well, there goes the deposit, I thought to myself before remembering what was in my mouth and began to panic, mumbling violently and desperately, trying to get Milo to get it out of me before anything else. Oh god, handcuffs now, off, now. I need to get up, I'm about to fucking too late. I tried to warn him before I threw up all over the floor in front of me, my hands still fastened to the chair behind my back. Water, I pleaded to him, so he dropped the severed head on the floor and awkwardly fumbled through the cabinets for a cup, his claws accidentally knocking things around, making it even harder for him. But finally he got some amount of water in one of the larger cups and ran it back over to me in the chair before attempting to carefully pour it in my mouth. Thanks, I told him after swishing it around for a few seconds and spitting it out onto the pukey floor. That was almost the grossest thing that's ever happened to me, I said through my heavy breathing. Can you help me out of these without tearing my arms off? I asked him, rattling the chains and cuffs. Then he walked behind me, after looking for a few seconds, carefully reached down and slowly broke each chain apart, one by one until my hands were loose. Thank you, I yelled at him as I jumped out of the chair, running across the room and punting the still conscious vampire woman's head into the far wall, as hard as I could. Fucking bitch! I screamed as my foot made contact with her temple, launching it across the room. I think I just broke my toe. I groaned as I limped into the room to get my mace. Hey, I just had a thought, I said on my way back out, mace in hand. Why the hell didn't we just get Het to make you and Tegan some kind of claw attachments or something, just to let you two have at it? He just shrugged, reaching out to grab the mace from me, but when he touched the end of the orichalcum in it, the thick black fur started to fall off his hand near where he touched it. As soon as he noticed, he snatched his hand away, letting the hair slowly return and fill the fresh bald spot. Whoa, so this stuff neutralizes supernatural powers or something, I said out loud, but Milo just shrugged again. Okay, so what now? I asked, unceremoniously whacking the severed head like a rotten watermelon. Then my phone started to ring. You okay? Trey barked from the other end, causing my ear to ring. Yes, Jesus, why? Joanna just tried to kill me in my apartment. What? Well, I guess that kind of makes a little sense. Stephen just... Never mind. Everything's going to shit. Have you heard from everyone else? Nuh-uh. I called you right after I knocked Joanna's crazy ass out. I figured they'd probably be coming at you more than anyone else. Please don't say that word right now, I begged him as I felt a wave of heat wash across my face. What? Why not? Never mind. Well, you were right, but Milo's here with me right now. Big Milo. So I'm probably pretty safe. So we need to call everyone else and check on... Hold on. Jasmine's calling. Hello? There's a fucking vampire nailed to my wall! She screamed as soon as she answered the call. Whoa, slow down. What? I asked her over a freakout. One of those things just burst into my bedroom, and then the tripod thing came out of nowhere and pinned it to the wall just by its head. It's not very happy about it, though, she explained. Different words, please. What are you talking about? Nothing. I'll try to explain it later, but you probably won't kiss me for a while if I do. Anyway, get your vampire knife and jab it into its heart or head really deep. That should do it. You want me to kill it? She yelped. Yes, sweetie, that's why you have a vampire-killing knife in the first place. Head or heart, I said before switching back to Trey. Jasmine's got one too, but it seems mostly handled. I'll call Gay Jake, you call Leslie and see if she's okay, I told him before hanging up and calling Gay Jake. He didn't answer, I yelled into the phone at Trey as I tore down the road in Stephen's car. Milo awkwardly folded into the back seat. Oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God, I chanted to myself as my heart pounded in my chest, thinking about what I might find when I get to the house. Milo, what the hell am I looking at? I asked as we sat in the car at the end of the driveway. The lights illuminated the scene in front of us. After a few seconds, I was pretty sure we were looking at Gay Jake, sitting crisscross on the pavement of his driveway, eating a bowl of what I assumed was SpaghettiOs next to his Wrangler. That was parked on top of a violently struggling vampire's body.